Today we're solving multiple step equations and inequalities. We've already been doing multi-step equations, but now we're going to be doing those and also inequalities. You have a problem like this. 3 times d plus 2 equals 12. Now there's two ways of solving this. Okay? The one way we've been doing, and that was distributing 3 out and then solving for d. We know how to do that. I'm going to teach you one other way. And it only works if the problem is set up just like this. For the problems later on in the homework, it's not going to work. So don't try it. Everybody understand? It only works when it's exactly like this. If you knew what d was, what would you do to it first? You would add 2 and then do what? Times by 3. Order operations say you would add 2 and then times by 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in reverse order of that. What was my last step? Times by 3. So what's the first thing I should do? Divide by 3. Divide by 3. So on this side I have d plus 2. On this side I have 12 divided by 3, which is 4. Now do I know how to solve this type of problem? D plus 2 equals 4. I'm adding 2 to d, so I subtract 2 to both sides. D equals 2. Okay, can I check my answer? Yeah, plug 2 in for d. What's 2 plus 2? What's 4 times 3? 12. So d has to be 2. Now, this is the easiest way I've found to work it. Now, the book doesn't want you to do it because you have to be able to distribute later on. So I'm going to show you how to distribute. You don't have to write this down. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, I'm going to make sure everybody understands. If I distributed first, I take 3 times d, which is 3d. I keep the sign the same, and I do 3 times 2, which is 6. Do I know how to solve a problem like this? Yes. Do you know how to do this? I look at what's being done to d. I'm timesing by 3, and then I'm adding 6. So I subtract 6 to both sides. I go in reverse order of operations. I have 3d is equal to 6. What do I do now? Divide by 3. Does anyone know what 6 divided by 3 is? 2. Isn't that what I found earlier? Yeah. So both ways work. I just found that dividing by 3 first is easier. It eliminates several steps. However, you cannot always do it that way. So don't assume every problem today you can do it. Everybody understand? Write this down. Now we're going to solve a multiple step inequality. Do we do anything different than if it was an equal sign there? No. As long as we don't multiply and divide by a negative number, nothing changes. So I divide both sides by 4 first, because that would be the last step you would do in timesing by 4. So I have x minus 3 is greater than 6 over 4. I can write as a decimal or a fraction. I like fraction better because 4 goes into 6 one time with 2 left over. 2 over 4 is the same thing as a half. So I have x minus 3 is greater than 1.5. I need to figure out what x needs to be greater than. So I add 3 to both sides. X has to be greater than 4 1/2 for this to be a true statement. Now, I'm not going to show you where you distribute it out. I'm not going to do that. I don't think you need to see it, but you should know how, right? 4 times x minus 12 is greater than 6. Okay, everybody should know how to do it. Write this down. 4 times b minus 3 is less than or equal to 72. Doesn't matter which way I do it. Okay, I find that dividing by 4 is easier than distributing 4 out. It's a couple less steps. So I have b minus 3 on the left. 72 divided by 4 is 18. Did I multiply or divide by a negative number? No, so my sign does not change. b minus 3 is less than or equal to 18, so I have to add 3. I have to undo subtracting 3 by adding 3. b is less than or equal to 21. And that's my answer. Again, I could distribute and solve for it. It's okay. If you like doing it, do it that way. We have 4 times x plus 5 equals 3 times 2x plus 4. I cannot divide both sides by 4 because this doesn't look very good, does it? Okay? Would you know what to do here? No. I haven't worked on that. Later on, we'll work on that. But right now, you don't know how to do this. So don't. Because also, you'd have to divide both sides by 3. Do you know how to divide this by 3? No. No? Okay, so don't do that. That's what I've been talking about. Knowing when to do that and when not to. Instead, what should my first step be? Distribute. Okay? Just like the other problems, I could have distributed first. Right? Now I have to distribute first. So take 4 times x plus 4 times 5. 3 times 2x, which is 6x. You just multiply the numbers in front. Keep the sign there, and then 3 times 4, which is 12.
You get 6x.
Now I want to move the smaller variable. I want to get the variable on the same side to combine those. The only way that you should do it is by moving the smaller one. Which one's smaller? 4 or 6? 4. So I subtract 4x to both sides. If I want to move it to the other side, I subtract it because it's positive. Over here I have 20. On this side I have 2x because I add, or in this case subtract the numbers in front. 6 minus 4 is 2. And then the 12 is left over. So I subtract 12 to both sides to get x by itself. My goal the whole time is the x by itself, right? Yeah. I'm narrowing it down. I have to divide both sides by 2. So x must equal 4. Because 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now, can I check my work? Yeah, plug 4 into each of these. Okay, they'll equal each other. Okay, if they don't, you must have done something wrong. Write this down. Alright, I have 5a minus 8 is greater than or equal to 4 times a minus 3. Could I divide both sides by 4?
No.
That doesn't look very good, does it? No. So instead I have to do what? Distribute. 4 times a is 4a. I keep the sign that's there and do 4 times 3, which is 12. I have to get the variable on the same side. So I want to move the smaller one, which is 4a. Since it's positive, I have to subtract. 5a minus 4a is a. So I have a minus 8 is greater than or equal to negative 12. A minus a is greater than or equal to negative 12, so I add 8 to both sides. A is greater than or equal to negative 4. And that's my answer. Any questions? This is a special solution because it does not work out like we normally have. Now, you won't know it's a special solution. They won't tell you this is going to have a special case to it. What you got to do is you got to recognize when it's a special solution and when it's not. Okay? All we've done is just normal, when x or y is equal to a certain number. In this case, that's not the same thing. It won't be like that. But what I do is I have to distribute. I have to work out everything I got. 3y minus 15 plus 25 is equal to 3y plus 10. I have to combine like terms, which I have 15 and 25. So I got to add those, which it's negative 15 plus 25, which is what? Negative 15 plus 25.
Positive 10.
Positive 10. The bigger number was positive. So I have 3y plus 10 is equal to 3y plus 10. Does anyone see something? They're going to equal each other. So if I got rid of the variable on one side, guess what happens? I got rid of it on the other side. Does 10 equal 10?
Yeah.
Yes. When it's a true statement, when it comes out like this, your answer is all real numbers. Because it does not matter what you plug in for y, it will be true. Because they will cancel each other out, and 10 will equal 10 every time. Okay, so that's why this is a special case. Normally, y would just equal one number. Or with inequalities, y equals a set of numbers. This, it's every number possible. Okay? Negative 5s minus 14 is equal to 2 times 2s plus 3 minus 9s. So what's my first step? Distribute. If you're not for sure, if you can divide both sides by 2, then just distribute it out. Okay? Don't divide by 2 if you're not for sure. Everybody understand? Okay, I just taught you that because that's an easier step. Saves you some work. Negative 5s minus 14 is equal to 4s plus 6, because 2 times 2s is 4, Jacob. And then 2 times 3 is 6. And I have 9s minus s. I have to combine like terms. Anytime I see a variable that's exactly the same as another one, I have to combine those. What is 4s minus 9s? Negative 5s. Anyone see something here? The variable is the same thing. Negative 5s and negative 5s. If I got rid of one on one side, what's going to happen to the other side? We're going to get rid of it on the other side, which is okay. We're okay with that. Negative 14 is equal to 6. Is this a true statement?
No.
No, they do not equal each other. So I draw a line right there. Okay, because negative 14 will never equal 6, ever. Okay? Here's your answer. And it's either one of the two. I don't care which one you write. It's either no solution, because there is nothing you can plug in for s to make this a true statement. There's not a number that will work, or this symbol. Okay? They call this null set or empty set. I will take either one. I like empty set. We use empty set a lot in algebra. Okay? And so it's no solution or empty set. Because no matter what I plug in for s, it will never make negative 14 equal 6. So there's not a solution for s. That's what that's saying. Okay? Normally, there's one number that makes s true. There's not one here. Yes?
What about on the other one I just did? What was that?
It was all real numbers because it didn't matter what you plugged in for y. They were always true. Okay? Because they cancel each other out and they were equal to each other. Okay? Any questions? Here's your homework assignment.